Welcome to the third video in a series of videos about how to make a basic quiz in Python. Um, in the previous video I showed you how to use input, output and variables, and we're going to proceed to make a little bit more of the quiz. What we're going to do now is learn how to ask further questions with variables and inputs, and also how to test the results of those questions. Right, so what we're going to do is, firstly, we need to keep a score, don't we? We're going to have a score in the quiz, and it probably is a good idea to declare the variable for the score at the beginning. So this is going to be a variable used throughout. Score equals, and the score is going to be an integer data type. It's not going to have speech marks around it like a string. It's just going to be a number. So we started off as 0. We need to give it a value, but we always started off at 0 because the score is not going to be any particular increment on number at the moment. Alright, so that bit's done. Just going to show you how to do hashtags as well. That's for a comment. So just to introduce this to the future programmer who might be re-editing my code at some point, i.e. me, I'm going to write this is the bit that asks them their name. Okay. Introducing the quiz. Now these are just comments, they don't get carried out. The hashtag tells Python that this is something to ignore. Alright. So introducing the quiz, and I'm going to write a little bit of text. So print. I'm going to put a little dash, and I'm going to multiply that by 20. What happens now is, you'll see, well, enter my name, Paul. Hello, Paul. Do you see it's got 20 little dashes there? Because I multiplied that by 20. Clever, eh? Let's do it by 40. There we go, that's nice. Just separate stuff out a bit, and I'm going to print empty string. So what that does is just puts a bit of space in between everything, so you should have a little bit of separation between everything. I'm going to write Q now. Why I'm going to write Q is because this is question 1. Each time I ask a question, I can just overwrite the value in that variable, just reassign it to something new. And you can actually overwrite variables throughout the program. They can always be changed, so that's not really an issue. They're not sort of set in stone or anything. So I'm going to write Q. I'm going to write input. Question 1. And after that, I'm going to write, what is the capital of England? What's the capital of England? And now, that should ask them what they've asked. That should ask them a question, and it should have stored that in Q. I can print Q just to show you that it's been stored inside the program. So I'm going to do that. So my name's Paul. What's the capital of England? London. And there we go. We're printing Q there. So it's stored that, okay? What I'm going to do now is introduce you to something called selection. So with selection, we have if and else. So I'm going to write if Q, not 1, Q, double equals, in speech marks, London. Once I pressed enter, do you see it sort of indents there like that? That is supposed to happen, because once you put a colon there, we're indenting. And indenting means this is a part of the clause, or part of that particular section of the code. So it happens only if a sort of test has been passed, I guess, is the best way of putting it. So we're testing if Q is equal to London. Do you notice as well there's a double equal sign? That's really important because we use that for testing. We use a single equal sign for assigning, for saying this will now be equal to so-and-so. This is to say if this is actually equal to, we're testing this, if Q is equal to London. Okay, so we do that. We're going to print correct. Do you notice it's still all indented? So we want to go backspace there. We want to do something called else. So else is a separate clause. If Q is equal to London, print correct. Otherwise, print incorrect. So if you write spaceship instead of London, you're going to get incorrect because else means otherwise. It just means otherwise. Well, they don't say otherwise, I don't know. But in all computer science, else basically means the otherwise. If it's not that, then it's this. Okay, so we run that now. Paul, what's the capital of England? London. Correct. I'm going to run it again just to show you. Paul, what's the capital of England? Madrid. Incorrect. Brilliant. So now we're actually getting a fully functioning quiz. It's starting to work a little bit better. So how to ask the questions. I'm now going to put print empty sort of section for speech marks. And I'm going to write print score at the end of question 1 equals, I'm going to write comma and score again. But wait a minute, that's not going to have a value. Well, that's going to be a bit interesting, isn't it? Just going to put this here as well. I'm going to copy that bit for the little dash. Let's run this now. Paul, I've got it absolutely correct. London, it's still saying 0. Right. That's not good, is it? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find the bit where they get the answer correct, which is here. I'm going to put a new line under that, and I'm going to type score, not scroll, score equals, score equals score plus 1. So what we're doing is we're going to say, right, we'll make a variable called score again, but we've already got one. So let's take the one that's already there and add 1 to it. And that's what happens if we get the answer correct. Let's run this now, see what it does. So Paul, what's the capital of England? London. There we go. So that's now nice and working. So we've got a variable called score and we're adding 1 to it by saying it is equal to itself plus 1. That's how we add 1 there. And then we've got some gumph at the end of it that just is to basically separate out the questions. So I'm going to write Q1. So that helps the coder. Alright. And I'm going to just copy all of this and paste it in. Why waste time? So question 1, question 2. I'll just change the text there. Spain. Madrid. There you go, you're learning geography and computer science today. Right, so we've got all of that, and just make sure that you're changing everything correctly. Correct. Madrid. Correct. Alright, but what happens now, because we've done all of this, I've just copied and pasted these sections out. That again, remember, that's just a dash times 40, so 40 little dashes. What if I want to now misspell it? So we're not going to give the user the option to completely misspell the word London, but say, for example, if they don't use uppercase L at the beginning, or perhaps they might use all capitals. So what we could do here is we can expand this clause, this particular bit of the selection, this if, right? What we're going to use is the word or. If you type it in lowercase, it should be blue, which is what you want it to be. I just typed it capitals by accident a second ago. So we want to type or in lowercase, and we want to type Q is double equal to London, all lowercase. Do you see that? So if it's this, or Q double equals all in capitals. So now, if I do that, and I type London, it's fine. If I type Madrid all in capitals, because I haven't just fixed it yet, incorrect. So we now need to go and do that for Madrid as well. So what's the capital of Spain? Madrid, or Q double equals Madrid lowercase, or Q double equals Madrid, all in capitals. So now I'm giving the user the option to make sure everything is correct. And what you should have now, oh, and this is quite a cool feature of REPL, you can open it in a new tab. There's my name, London, Madrid. Okay, you can keep going and going, and if you want, you can use a little output at the end to just wrong one there. You can use a little output at the very end just to summarize the score. You could even use some if and else to tell them what you think of them in terms of their overall score. But there you go, that's a simple quiz in 3 videos.